do this podcast, about like different people from around the world. And then it's like, okay, let's talk when you're in Jeju. And then like fast forward a few months later, I'm in Jeju, and you're like, yeah, let's not do that. I want to do Vamos a Jeju. And I'm like, what?
No, no,
You
no,
tricked me.
아니야. 안녕하세요, 여러분. 저는 소라입니다.
And I'm Ed, and you're listening to the
Vamos a Jeju podcast. 안녕하세요, everyone. Today I have a great big news from me. I have my fabulous guest Ed here. Can you guess what is this great news?
First, I'm very sad that I've been demoted from co-host to guest. So thanks.
Sorry.
Maybe I've not been working hard enough, huh, Sora? But to answer your question, I believe the great news is the thing that you invited me for, and that I'll be going to Jeju again next month in September. And that is your Haenyeo retreat, right?
Right. It's gonna be my first own tour.
I know we talked about this before, but I think it would be helpful for you to share with the audience why you've zoomed in on Haenyeo and this Haenyeo retreat for your very first tour of your own agency.
I've been doing lots of tour in Jeju, and of course with lots of activity, interview with Haenyeo, and I was fascinated. They are so inspiring. So I wanted to make like really focused on this Haenyeo woman diver, and I also really love to have this, yoga, meditation, this kind of wellness. So that's why I make this like Haenyeo wellness retreats. And it's gonna be on September.
You invited me for that. Like I wasn't even planning to be in Jeju in September, but then you're like, "Hey Ed, what you doing in September?" I feel like you did a bit of a bait and switch on me, Sora, because you asked me to show up for this, and so I'm like, "Of course I'll show up for this. I love Jeju. I love hanging out with you. So yeah, I'll be there." But I just heard you say something about temples and meditation. I don't know if that's my thing.
It's not.
Is it too late? Is it too late to back out?
It's too late. Too late. Too late.
Oh,
You're already on the list. Yes.
Oh, brother.
But the meditation is not the focus. It's more like tea time with the monk, and then having lunch in the temple.
So that's the meditation and the temple stuff. But how about the activities with the Haenyeo? I saw on your website, jejuslowly.com. By the way, I love that name, jejuslowly.com. That we are going to be visiting the Haenyeo at their workplace. Did I get that right?
Right. So like one full day, we're gonna be with those woman diver Haenyeo, because I know one village. So we're gonna have like interview with them. Like if you have any question or if you want to talk to them, we can talk about it. And also later they will prepare a dinner for us. So it's gonna be outside. 불터, the outdoor community center, like for in the past for women diver. So there we're gonna have some barbecue of seafood and some noodles that prepared by this woman diver. So basically we're gonna have like half day together with this woman, interact together, meet new friends, and we have like Haenyeo Theater. There's the performance about the story of Haenyeo, like historically, and we'll have dinner with them and also interview with this
so
woman.
it sounds like a full day with the Haenyeo, visiting them where they work. We're talking about having conversations with them through you as our translator, having meals with them, barbecue on the beach, watching a play that's done by professional actors, but then also there's an actual Haenyeo who's going to be there that we can also interact with. This is like over, is it like a 3-day, 2-night kind of program, right?
Yes, right.
So I have a request on behalf of our audience. Can they go for this?
Sure, I would love it.
There's not a lot of time left though, right? This by the time
Right,
they
like
hear
a
this,
month.
yeah, they have like a 3 to 4 weeks to, respond to you and book the flights. So it sounds like a lot of trouble. So I'm going to say, can you give our listeners like a 50% discount?
50%. I
Okay.
mean,
How about
it's a
60%? I mean,
yeah.
they have to rush to get there. You got to help them, like
Yeah,
maybe pay the air
that's
ticket.
true.
So
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true. That's true. Yeah.
so 60%, 50%. Like give me a discount for our audience.
I mean, actually, the price is
do
very
it. Give them a discount. Come on.
okay. Of course, yes, I will.
Okay,
네,
so
네,
it is
진짜.
80%, right?
Let me calculate.
Okay.
Let's say 70. Let's say 70.
70%.
Yeah.
Okay, I was joking, but sure, I'll take 70% for our audience.
Uh-huh.
And then if anybody else, if you want to bring friends over, wait, how many members of our audience will you have space for? It's only a month left, so I'm pretty sure there's no more space left. So, like, can we get 1 in, 2, 3? Like, how many spots do we have left?
There's only 2 spots left.
Okay, so to recap, listeners, you have about 4 weeks to jump on this if you want to like get a hands-on, close-up interaction with the Haenyeos, meet Sora, maybe me, and have a great time. And it's going to be a discounted rate. I forgot exactly how much we're going to get it for, but I'll confirm it. I heard her say 70%, and it's for 2 people. So if you want to do this and you can get to Jeju on the, I believe it's the 10th to 12th of September, just go to vamosarjeju.com/Sora, and that will take you to the website where you can then fill out a form. Did I get that right, Sora?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay. So you might have thought that this entire episode that you're listening to is about this amazing Haenyeo retreat that Sora has created, but it's actually about something else. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about what we're going to be talking about today, Sora?
So, like in Instagram, TikTok, our like nice informative clips just disappear after 1 or 2 days. So we're like, it's gonna be really nice if we can make one page just for our clips, so you can just come over and then check our clips in one page.
Yeah, but the thing is, we've done so many clips on YouTube Shorts and TikTok and Instagram that I was like, okay, we cannot possibly talk about all of them. So what I did, Zora, was like I looked at the ones that are the most popular, that had the most views on each of the channels, and I kind of picked those to talk about because number one, our community seems to have really liked it, and number two, I have some very fond memories of when we recorded that. So shall we go ahead and play the first one?
네, let's go.
Okay, so this first
시작.
one goes way back to episode 4 when we were a baby podcast, and it's around the episode on Haenyeos. So I'm going to play it right now.
Jeju, we have saying that it is better to be born as a cow than a woman in Jeju. Because Jeju woman works more than cow.
So where are the men? Where are all the men? Like, if the women are doing the house chores and the diving and the food and all that and looking after the children, what do the men do?
I'm not sure if it's okay to say this because
So I paused that right there, Sora, because I think I want you to talk a bit more about why you thought it was not appropriate to talk about it, about what you were going to say.
In Korea, we say gender 감수성, like gender sensitivity.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
No, that's what we say these days.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like a huge stereotype for Jeju men. Yesterday, I met like my friends, and one, she's from Jeju and her husband is Jeju man, and we were talking about Jeju men. I was like, is really Jeju men like that? And she was like, not all Jeju men is like that. So I was like, oh, can be offensive. So
Right.
should be careful.
Yeah, okay. So let me continue
talk about
with
this while I'm doing a tour. But lots of Jeju grandma told me, please do not marry Jeju men, because Jeju men is known for lazy and and lots of drinking and also gambling.
Okay then. On behalf of all Jeju men, like maybe they'll start sending you nasty grams.
I mean, not everyone, but this is like a huge stereotype for Jeju men. So we can't say this is for everyone in Jeju.
I had the impression that this was about Jeju men in the past. It is not an observation of Jeju men in modern Korea.
Mhm.
Or am I confusing things?
I think that's right. It's the stereotype for Jeju men in the past, but these days in the modern society, if they do like this, they won't be able to get married.
I'm not sure why you felt uncomfortable saying it because it's a commentary on history. It's and
But
things have changed.
still some people can be, offended. So
I see.
that's
Okay.
very Korean.
Well, but I guess
Yeah.
that's why it was our most popular clip. Because of the sensitive nature and the controversy around it. So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I was thinking,
Okay.
why?
And so this first clip we talked about and all the other clips are going to be on our website. You can find it at vamosrjeju.com/clip. Over there is all the clips are going to be organized by different categories. For instance, like foodie culture, Jeju history, DIY traveling tips, getting around Jeju, and outdoor Jeju, for instance, like the Jeju Olleh Trail. By categorizing it like this, it makes it easier for you to find the content that you're looking for. And speaking of the Jeju Olleh Trail, this next video that we have, that is the number 2 most popular video across all our channels, is around what the heck does Olleh mean. Let me play this right now. So one thing I was wondering, Sora, is like, what does ole mean? Because in Spanish, it means, oh my God, yeah, it's ole, but I'm sure it's a different meaning, right?
So actually, the word ole come from Jeju dialect. It's not Spanish. So in Jeju dialect, in the past we had like many traditional house in Jeju, and between the traditional house and then to the main village road, there's narrow pathway connecting those two houses and the main village road. So these kind of small pathway was called Olleh in Jeju dialect. That's why we put their name as Olleh.
So that very short clip is our number 2 most popular clip. I don't understand what is it that our audience likes to see. I stopped trying to guess at this point. But do you have any thoughts as to why this was the number 2 most popular clip for our audience?
Maybe lots of Spanish speaker, they know ole, so maybe they wanted to know the meaning different way. I don't know. It's really difficult to guess why it become like successful, popular.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing for me. But yeah, so you guys like this video, so that's great.
Maybe some of our listeners can tell us why.
So this next one is kind of interesting because the title is like "Don't Go to Jail for an Orange," and that was you. You created that, so that was amazing.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, let me play that right now. When you see all those tangerines plump and juicy on the trees, like, are we allowed to just take them and
Of course,
eat
no.
them?
No. Of course, no.
Then how do we like pick them? Like that US, we have these things called pick farms where you can go harvest, pick for yourself blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, and all those kind of stuff. Like
We do have like exactly same thing in Jeju. So usually you pay like 5,000 won, like $3-4 to get in. For 1 hour you can eat those fresh tangerine. You can eat them unlimited.
when this episode is released, it's going to be in the summer. And if I'm not mistaken, let's say it's going to be in August. So we're looking at about another 4 to 5 months, and it's going to be tangerine season, right?
Right.
So, as you know, I'll be going to Jeju with my whole family, and I actually told them, hey, if you guys want to, we can all go pick tangerines, and all of them said no, thank you. So
Really?
so we're not doing any tangerine picking. And I'm not sure why. I guess it's not for everyone. Like when you host guests, like do you bring them tangerine picking? Like do they like it? Like what's the
Some
deal
of
there?
them, some of them asked me like before the tour, can we go to tangerine picking activity? Like, can we change itinerary so I can go pick the tangerine? So I was like, it seems like people really like it. But I think for some people, they might think, why do I pay for my labor? I'm working there and I need to pay for that? Why?
The way I kind of guess at it is like my family, because we live over here in Seattle. Like when they were kids, we brought them to go pick blueberries and apples and cherries and strawberries. So I guess for them, it's not really that interesting. But I can
Yeah.
imagine like my relatives or friends in Singapore living in the city. For them, it might be a very interesting activity.
Mm-hmm,
That's kind of how
mm-hmm.
I rationalize it.
Yeah, I think so, right?
So, when you want to get around on Jeju, if you want to go to the tangerine fields, they're usually quite out of the way. And for that, even though I love taking the buses, you may need to rent a car. And so, where I'm going with this, Sora is not to the tangerine fields, haha. But I'm going to play the next clip, which speaks to one of the things I hate the most about driving in Jeju. Let's go ahead and play that clip right now. One more thing that really annoyed me about Jeju driving, not about Jeju, but Jeju driving, is that on the coastal roads, there are so many speed traps. Like, I think you need to slow down to a very slow, I think
30
30
kilometer per,
kilometers per
yeah, 30
hour.
kilometers.
It is so slow. That's like about 20 something miles per hour. It's like so slow. You can run faster than that. It's like, and it's
No
fine
way,
if it's
you
just one
cannot
or
run
two, but there's
faster.
so many. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Usain Bolt can run faster than that. But it's like,
I think
I love how you totally do not believe that I can run fast.
really, can you?
No, I cannot.
Yeah, 30 kilometer per hour, no.
But you know what I mean? It's like so many speed traps. And
Yeah.
yeah, so when I go visit you in September in a few weeks, after the activity with the Haenyeo retreat, I'm going to rent a car. And so I will again be having to worry about speed traps. Oh my gosh, I am not looking forward to the speed traps.
I mean, it's usually like coastal roads. So, I mean, what I do is when I go to the east, I don't take the roads like coastal road. I go like near the mountain. Then
Right.
there's less speed trap and less traffic lights,
I
less car.
see. It seems like our listeners really wanted to dive into getting around Jeju. So the earlier one was about like driving, renting a car, and getting caught by the speed cameras. And then the next most popular one is also about getting around Jeju, and this one's about getting a taxi. So let me go ahead and play this clip right now.
Uber is actually taxi. Because here in Korea, the taxi union is so strong, they don't allow to Uber comes into Korea. So the Uber
Right.
contract with the taxi union here. So when you call a car from Uber, then taxi, the regular taxi will come. So it's gonna be a lot easier for you to use.
Right. And just to clarify, this is the same Uber app that if you've ever used Uber in your home country, it's exactly the same app. Whatever credit card that you've stored on that on your Uber app, that's what it's going to be. It's going to pay off. It's going to be in the language of your choosing. So if you come from an English speaking country, it's in English. If you come from a Spanish speaking country, you won't be listening to this podcast. That guy.
Sense of humor. Ah.
Yeah, nonsense of humor. So
And actually, Kakao Taxi released an app for foreigners, which is called K.ride. So you can use taxis in Korea without having Korean phone number.
okay, so is that pretty much the same as Kakao T, but just that the interface, the user interface, is optimized for non-Koreans?
Yeah, exactly same service like Kakao Taxi, but they just
Mm-hmm.
make new version for like non-Korean.
I see. So, folks, you heard it here. You can continue to use your Uber app, but if you're going to be in Korea for a longer time and you want to have some options, go ahead and download K.ride. The last two videos were really about getting around Jeju, and it was very interesting to me that one of our top 10 videos that our audience liked really was in episode 2 when we were a baby podcast where Sora was explaining what Jeju is. I'm going to play that video right now. So I'd like to welcome all of you to the Vamos a Jeju podcast.
This is a podcast for DIY traveler who want to discover the culture, peace, and the nature beauty of Korea's Jeju Island. Before we start talking about Jeju, we should talk about Korea first. Briefly. So South Korea is a beautiful country located in East Asia near Japan, China. The size is roughly similar to Portugal in Europe. So it's quite small country. So now I can talk about Jeju a little bit. So for Jeju, it's the largest island of South Korea. The size is similar to Maui in Hawaii. From east to west, it's around 73 kilometer. And from the north to south, it's around 31 kilometer.
Yeah, so that was like way back when we recorded it at the time. Like I felt so uncomfortable talking about. Welcome everyone to the Vamos a Jeju podcast. Everything
Why?
was so new. We were
Yeah.
learning on the go. We were experimenting.
Wow, it feels like it's been really long time.
Not really, but
mean,
yes, yes and
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's been about more than half a year. But
Yeah, it
I
feels like
think even longer because some of this, like I recognize this background. I think you were in Mexico at the
I
time
was
leading an outbound group.
yeah, right.
Right,
You have
which
really
means
good memory.
and I think I was in Seogwipo.
Yeah, you are in Jeju, right?
I was literally in Seogwipo out of my hotel. I took that photo that's on the screen right now. Actually, I'm not sure if the audience can see the screen, but I took that. I was in Seogwipo, and that was in November, I think. So
Yeah.
it's been a long time. Yeah, there's this consistent trend or pattern among our listeners really liking the content that we put out about getting around Jeju and flying to Jeju. And it feels like maybe they saw something that they like on Instagram or TikTok, and then that didn't give them very much details besides some pretty stuff, and so they're looking at more content to try and get there. I think that's why these series of clips for getting around is so popular. And so this next one is really about not getting around Jeju on Jeju, it's about getting to Jeju. Let's play that right now.
Well, let's talk about from Seoul, which is Gimpo Airport, to Jeju Island, or from Busan, the Gimhae Airport to Jeju, like domestic flight inside Korea. So from Seoul to Jeju, I think the most expensive ticket one way would be like 10만 won, like 100,000 won, which is around 70 US dollar. But if you are in a low season or in the middle of weekday, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's a lot cheaper. So sometimes I get ticket like 20,000 Korean won, which is like 15 USD.
I also know that if you can book like early in the morning or late in the day, the price is also pretty dang good. Yeah, it's I noticed that too because just last week I was booking my flights for my whole family, and yep, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, late at night, it's like really cheap.
How much was it?
I think it was around $20 US, and I paid extra for the on Jeju Air. I paid extra for the the upgrades like more luggage space, seat selections in the first 2 rows, and then early boarding and all that. So I paid extra that to be extra fancy. It was like $5.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so fancy, right?
I think lots of like tourists from outside Korea, they think like Seoul and Jeju is really far. So when I say it's just 1 hour, sometimes less than 1 hour, and they're like, really, that close? Yeah. And actually nowadays, because for July, August is like high season for Korean tourists to come to Jeju. So the prices goes up. Because I went to Seoul like last week and it was like 15만 won. It's like 100 USD. So, mm.
So then, when going back to the Haenyeo retreat, if any of our listeners are able to get there, they're going to have to fly probably into Incheon first, right? And then do the whole Incheon to Gimpo connection and then fly from Gimpo to Jeju airport.
Actually, now we are having direct flight from Incheon to Jeju. There's not many flight, but you can actually.
I looked into that. It was like 1 or 2 a week, and it's a lot more expensive.
Really?
It's a lot more expensive. Yeah, it's like, okay, it's not that expensive, but it's like like, you know how I said I paid about $25 for like so-called upgrades on Jeju Air. Jeju Air was charging me almost like $90. It was like 2 flights a week. And I mean literally 2 flights a week. So I seen like, I think that was one on Thursday. It's just 1 flight.
Oh,
if you miss that, then you have to wait for another 3 days, 4 days for the next flight. So I think if you're trying to get to Jeju, okay, look at the Incheon thing. But if you're comfortable with it, just go ahead and, for now anyway, take the train to Gimpo or take the bus to Gimpo and then fly to Jeju from there. It's still easier and faster.
Yeah.
And it really is like taking a bus. It's like there's a flight leaving every 10, 20, 30 minutes. It's like taking a bus. And to remind everybody, you can bring your water, your liquids on the domestic flight.
Also kimchi.
And of course kimchi. And tangerines. Boxes of tangerines. Like I've seen people not check in. I've seen people bring on board as carry-on luggage.
Right. Usually tangerine and then the rice cake.
So talking about like flying between Seoul to Jeju, listeners all know that Sora used to work in Seoul and she used to have a fancy corporate job in Seoul. And in future episodes, we'll talk more about this. But early on in our show, we did touch on this a little bit. Let's play that clip right now.
So like many other Korean, I follow the usual path. I studied hard in high school and I got into a good university and also got into a good corporate job in a well-known company in Korea. But at some point, I found that it was not the life I wanted to have. So I took a different direction.
As a watcher of Korean drama, I just got to ask this, and I'm sure our audience are also thinking, is corporate career as challenging and difficult as what we see on K-dramas? Like, is it just fiction, or is it actually an accurate reflection of corporate career? The workplace bullying, the hierarchy, and all that.
I think it is accurate reflection of the reality. Yeah, because
can you see how tanned I was? Like, this is like I was walking the Olleh Trail, I think, or something.
I mean, you look good, and I remember I was really nervous doing this because I think it was very first or second episode of our show, no?
Yeah. Why were you nervous, Sora?
I don't know. Just talking about myself to people. I don't know. Like recording itself.
I feel like whenever we do a recording, it always seems like it's just a conversation between friends, like you and me.
Right. Yes.
So
I mean, after a few recording, I was like, okay, this is like just talking to Ed. So, but at the beginning, it was like, oh, I'm gonna record my English. Oh my God.
Yes. Well, the listeners should be very grateful we're not doing this in Korean because it will be the worst podcast ever.
Yeah.
It's so
we can try bonus episode.
We will lose all our listeners in after 안녕하세요. It will be terrible. In a future episode, we will get deeper into why Sora left corporate career. But for now, I think we should wrap up today's review of our clips with something that you did before we even launched our show. That is something that our listeners really liked, and yeah, I'm gonna play that right now.
You've seen Jeju on Instagram. Now hear the real story. This is the Vamos a Jeju podcast. I guide tours on this island, and living here, you see a completely different Jeju. We started this podcast to share that side, local stories in English from people who actually live here. I'm Sora. I was a tour leader for 10 years, traveling the world, but Jeju is where I finally found home. My co-host Ed left corporate America, slow traveled the world, and kept coming back to Jeju. 3 times, walked every Olleh Trail, 437 kilometers. 2 outsiders who found home on this island. Welcome to Vamos a Jeju podcast.
잘 만들었다.
Oh yeah. Self-praise, international disgrace.
Wow.
Wow.
Also, it was my very first video of our podcast, and it makes me like feel emotional a little bit. It's like,
A bit nostalgic.
yeah.
Do you remember how we even decide to do this podcast? Like, do you remember?
Yeah, we were talking at like my place. And no,
Actually, my history of our podcast goes even further back. I was in Oaxaca,
when I was in. Yeah, right. Yes.
and
yes,
you
yes.
were in
Of
Seoul.
course, I
and I was
remember.
in Oaxaca. I was
yes.
like, hey, Sora, like I have some ideas. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I want to do this podcast, about like different people from around the world. And then it's like, okay, let's talk when you're in Jeju. And then like fast forward a few months later, I'm in Jeju, and you're like, yeah, let's not do that. I want to do Vamos a Jeju. I'm like, what?
No.
You tricked me.
아니야. We were talking about like, I don't know, what is gonna be our topic, and then we're talking about like talking, and then Jeju. Oh, Jeju would be nice to talk about him.
No,
Yeah.
you already
No?
had a website done on Vamos a Jeju using
Right.
AI. It wasn't a very good website.
Yeah,
but
so
y-
that's
like
why
you
we
already
made
had
a
the
new one.
idea. Yeah, you had your idea to do Vamos a Jeju,
Mhm.
and you just needed me to go like, okay, let's do that instead. yeah. But once I heard your idea and your motivation and where you wanted to take it, I was like, this is a much better idea than my idea. Having said that, like my idea, I might do it still sometime in the future. Like I have this fascination with like different languages, different cultures, and then bringing people together from different places in one virtual room, like a podcast. Like I feel like there's an audience for that, but I understand that that's not what we have right now. But who knows? Maybe in the future we'll do something like that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really fun. The podcast about the polyglots, right? So there's a lot of people who loves like learning language, like around us, especially.
So those are all the clips that we're previewing today. They are only a small fraction of our entire clip library. And moving forward, every time we do a clip, it's going to be on our clip library as well. And to access that, again, you can just go to vamosajeju.com/clip. Once you get there, you will see that the videos have been grouped into categories. And for our listeners who are thinking of joining us in Jeju in September in the next few weeks, make sure you go down to the category that is specifically about Jeju culture, where the Haenyeo clips are going to be.
And also, we have one more channel to listen from you. So you can visit again vamosajeju.com/ask, and then you can record your question through our page. So you can just press the orange button and then say the question, but please make sure you're in a quiet place, and then place your cell phone microphone near your face and then say to it. Don't forget to tell us your name, where you're from, and what you're curious about. So
Right.
yeah, that's all.
Yeah. And so what we do with those questions is we do one or two things. Number one, we will organize it and then make sure we try and answer that in a future episode. But also we use that as a way to plan future episodes. So like your feedback is going to be so valuable for us as we continue to shape and improve our podcast moving forward. I mean, like we've gotten great feedback. We've gotten responses on over email. We've got DMs. People have been sliding into our Instagram and TikTok. The comments that they've left for us on all our videos has been really cool to see. We've gotten some really good reviews on Apple Podcasts and some comments that were left on Spotify too. It's been so exciting and meaningful to be hearing from our audience. And I think that's why, Sora, now you understand why I was like advocating so hard to make sure that 2 people can join us in Jeju in September and get a big discount for that. It was like 100% discount, right?
Eh.
Okay, 70%. So to recap, we have 2 spots and we'll love to see you guys there if you can manage it. We know it's only like 3 to 4 weeks before the trip, so it's not a lot of time. But there's 2 spots available. They're hugely discounted for our listeners only. But when you go to vamosrjeju.com/Sora, you'll be taken to Sora's travel agency website. It's called jejuslowly.com. There's going to be a contact form. Make sure you say that, hey, I'm a listener and I want my 70% discount. And then Sora will take care of you from there.
Of course, I will.
Yeah, and really hope to meet you guys in Jeju. And with that, all that's left for us to say is 안녕!
안녕.
The Sora thing moving my hands. Get all our latest articles, videos, and resources on Jeju DIY travel culture and history at vamosajeju.com. That's VAMOSAJEJU.com. If you would like to get updates about Jeju or even Korea sent straight to your email, sign up for our dispatches at vamosajeju.com/update.
And finally, the best way for a new podcast like this to grow is organically. So if you found this episode helpful, please share us with a friend. And who knows, maybe you'll Vamos a Jeju together this year.
The Vamos Our Jeju podcast is part of the Passport Optional Network. And that, I guess, all that's left for us to say is 안녕.
안녕. 아이고.
Okay, one more
아이고.
time. Wow, I'm so
바보예요,
clumsy
바보.
today. 바보. Oh, okay.